Oh, brilliant. Okay, right. So that's right. About 35 of you are now here. Brilliant. Okay, so anyone who is signed up to the Hi Emma, anyone who is signed up to the Foundation Years website, today you would have had an email to say that the DfE have published the latest version of the draft EYFS reforms. So this is the EYFS reforms that are coming into place from September. Now, I personally think that these reforms should be stopped for now because I think we've all got enough going on at the moment without new things to get our heads around. But as it stands, they're pushing ahead with it. So if anyone is signed up to the Foundation Years website, which is sort of like the government portal, really, there are, and I'm going to put the link in here afterwards for you. The government today have shared the latest version of the EYFS. Now, most of it they're saying isn't up for discussion because they maintain that it has been developed with the consultation period. What's interesting actually though is that when you look at the contents page of the revised EYFS, we now have in the contents page of a document which is about learning, care and development, we now have a whole section about the reception baseline assessment, which I think is absolutely bonkers. Anything linked to that testing of 4-year-olds really has no place in our EYFS document. This is a document that's meant to be how we look after children, how we care for children, how we educate children, and how we assess them in line with EYFS principles. So the fact that DfE have actually got a whole section in our EYFS about the testing of 4-year-olds, I think is absolutely absurd. That's the first thing. But the DfE are saying that that's already been decided by consultation. Although some of you might be aware that we only got to where we are with baseline because of a primary assessment consultation, nothing to do with early years at all. That's a whole nother debate. So we now have an EYFS coming to us, which actually got a whole section about baseline testing, which I think is dreadful. But on top of that, when you look through the draft document, anything in red is something that we can comment on. So I say I'm going to put the link in here shortly. When I've done, I'm going to put the link in here for you. I know it's a really busy time, and I know we're asking a lot of you at the moment. I know that we're desperate for you to get engaged with Birth to 5 Matters. I know that's a long old document for you to look through over the half term. I know that we're asking you to come to things in the evenings, like our KEYU Birth to 5 next week. I know there's a big demand on you at the moment, but this is such a massive time in early years. And I know we've got COVID and we're all feeling nervous and we're uncertain about what's going to be happening. But at the end of the day, our framework has been completely rewritten. And as it stands, that is coming into place from September. So you need to look at what the government are proposing. You need to look at the red sections that they're saying that we can comment on. And one of those sections I've already posted about today, actually. The DfE have decided that they are now looking to, within the EYFS framework, actually particularly highlight the new development matters. Now, a few of us within KEYU actually have written to the DfE about this before this announcement today, so we're actually quite concerned about this, because this is basically now a document that is a statutory framework that we all have to legally adhere to, and quite rightly so. But within that, they are putting links to documents that actually we do not have to follow. And one of them is the new Development Matters age bands, which a lot of people think that those age bands are the EYFS. They are not. Those age bands are a piece of guidance that you can pick up and you can use. And as someone who's used existing bands for years, they are what most of us use. But right now, we're at the start of something a little bit new now. We've actually got the chance now to take control of our curriculum, shape our curriculum and build our curriculum. So actually, maybe you want to use the new age bands for that, the Development Matters age bands. Or maybe you want to use Birth to 5 when it eventually comes out. Or maybe you want to use something different altogether. That is completely your decision. As long as you are adhering to the EYFS framework, that what you can choose whatever guidance you like. to shape your curriculum and to build your curriculum. You haven't got, there's no government prescribed curriculum. So a few of us within KEYU did write to the DfE because actually we think that when you start referring in statutory guidance to a document that actually people haven't got to use, it could give the message, actually, this is what you've got to use. And you really don't have to. So actually we've picked that up and we've challenged that. And we haven't heard back from the DfE yet. They've accepted that we wrote them about it and that we'll hear back from them. We're still waiting for that one. But in the meantime, in the draft, there is now this paragraph in red, which we can comment on because they're asking us to, which specifically talks about development matters. Actually, what they should be saying is you could use that, or you could use this, or you can use whatever you like for your curriculum. This is your curriculum. This is your chance to shape what is right for your children. And you have to use the tools, whatever they are, that you think is right for that. Now, obviously, I'm sure you all know, because KEYU is part of the Early Years Coalition, that we are involved in Birth to Five Matters. I'm involved in the Maths Working Group. I'm involved in the steering group. We're hosting an event next week. I'm really passionate about Birth to Five Matters. So within my setting, that is the curriculum that we will be using in our early years because it fits in with our pedagogy. But you can use whatever you like, and so I think that when the government start wanting to refer to one particular document in terms of curriculum within the framework, we could get very blurred messages. So it's really important that, we recognise distinction between what is statutory and what is not. So what you have to do and what you don't have to do. Okay, so that's something. So I put that on Twitter because I think I'm quite concerned about that. At which point, Beatrice from Early Education also commented that when we feed back on this new EYFS that's on the Foundation Years website, it's not only actually about what is in red we need to be looking at, it's what's actually been taken out. And I haven't read it massively in depth yet, but a really sad loss to the revised EYFS is the fact that they seem to have taken out the Ofsted teaching definition. Now, that I know, I don't know if any of you use planning in the moment, as I do. I think a lot of you probably do. This is a teaching definition from Ofsted for the early years that really backs up what we know. Ofsted very clearly are saying that teaching is not a top-down model of learning. Not a top-down model of working. Ofsted are very clearly saying that your interactions are your teaching, your environment is your teaching. So that's a really important definition because actually, if you're in school or setting, an Ofsted come along knocking on your door, then actually, for you to have the confidence to say, especially if you're in reception class, for example, that your teaching doesn't have to mean bums on seats doing work in an exercise book, because Ofsted say that teaching is your interaction, your environment, it's everything that we do. That is a really amazing piece of work from Ofsted. It's been around a few years now. I use it in every bit of training I do. And actually, when DfE were going to put that into the framework, that was a real cause for celebration because I know a lot of us are very worried about the direction of early years and the schoolification of early years, especially those in nursery and reception classes, how formal things are becoming. So that definition was really important. And it was in the early adopter book. So if it's now not as, I haven't looked through yet, but as Beatrice has said on Twitter, if it's now been taken out, then we need to be saying, put it back in again. Now I can see Sian here is talking about the effective learning characteristics. Sian, I need to really get my head down, when I have a chance and read through these changes because I think we've only got about a month to respond to these. If Ofsted teaching definition isn't in there, that's a really big cause for concern. If it's being portrayed that development matters is the document you have to use, that is a big cause for concern. The fact that baseline has now got its own section in our framework, which is about practice and about unique children and about environments and relationships, how can that test even have one page of a document that is meant to be about care learning and development and keeping children safe. So lots and lots to think about. So I'm going to post shortly the link to that. So if you're on there, if you're on the Foundation Years website, email list, you will have got it today. It came through today. But I'm going to post that, and I would just ask all of you to have a look at that. Specifically, look at the red bits. That's what they want us. That's the only bit they say we can really talk about. But also, what's missing. If anyone else had a chance to have a look yet, pop it into the chat. If anyone else has had a chance to see anything else that's missing or been added. So there's a lot of work to do there. We are going to have to really be campaigning hard again against baseline, because it is headed back. And this September, the last thing any child ever needs when they first join reception in any year is to be tested on maths and literacy when they first join. It's always been a terrible idea. It's never been effective. But the fact of bringing it in this year and making it statutory for all schools, I think just is ridiculous. And we're going to have to really get word out to parents that actually, here's your child joining school during a pandemic, and within their first few weeks, they're going to be tested. And I don't know about any of you, but the place I want to be right now and in September will be in my setting with my amazing colleagues and with my children. I'm going to keep coming back to it. This is a framework about caring for children, looking after children, nurturing them, helping them learn through play, helping them learn, in a developmentally appropriate way. Why on earth has baseline got literally one word in this document is beyond me. So there's that. Birth to 5 framework is going great guns. So the second consultation is out. It is a really long, I don't know if anyone in the chat can let me know if you've had a look at it yet. It's a really long document. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a lot of reading, but the feedback on it is absolutely amazing that we're getting, because actually it does put the child and their development at the heart of everything we do, and those importance of relationships and skilling up our workforce and making sure that we understand the learning trajectories that children are on and how children learn and how children develop. So that's coming up. And then obviously Monday evening, really huge event is I'm so amazed, our KEYU Birth to 5 event. The panel is phenomenal. I can't believe we've got 1,000 of you signed up to come along. Anyone who couldn't come along and couldn't get a ticket in time, because they've all gone now, please don't worry, it will be streamed on KEYU. And it will also be recorded and shared with you as well. So, lots and lots going on at the moment. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of things going on. And a really busy time, but also so important that we all take care of ourselves and look after our own mental health and our well-being and our physical health too. So I hope everybody's safe. I hope you're all well. Who knows what next week's going to bring with the next announcement, but whatever it brings, we'll keep going as we always do. I hope you will have a wonderful evening. Please stay safe. Please look after each other. And if you need any support, or if you want to ask anything or share anything, we're here. We're here for you. So take care, get involved in whatever way you can, and see you all later.